If you're like me, you probably don't ever really pre-order games too far in advance. Maybe you like to try the games out first and foremost to see where you'll stand with them in their full offering, which is definitely a nice part about the open betas of the past years for Call of Duty. However, it's that time of year again. We're leading up to Modern Warfare 2's launch, and while this year actually has the least number of versions on offer, maybe you're still wondering what you should be getting if you haven't done so already. If you don't plan on getting the game, that's entirely cool, but today we're going to be doing our annual buyer's guide for anyone who may not be sure of what they want to get just yet. Today we're breaking down everything you can get with each version of the game and their value propositions, and at the end, giving you my recommendation for anyone who may be on the fence. This is our Modern Warfare 2 buyer's guide. As we go along, drop your thoughts down below. Is there any version in particular that you either already pre-ordered or you're looking to get for yourself? If you enjoy the video, you'll find it at all insightful, do me a favor and drop a like on the video, and if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to stay up to date with all things Modern Warfare 2, Warzone 2, and DMZ here, all within the next few weeks to months. We're at that time where it's my favorite time of the year, and we can offer up a ton of guides, tutorials, and helpful content while keeping you in the loop with everything in the upcoming experiences. If you'd like to join us on the road to 500,000 subscribers, I'd love to have you. But for now, let's take a look at our Modern Warfare 2 buyer's guide and what gets you the most bang for your buck. So, like I said to begin with, there really is not too many versions of the game that it becomes overwhelming on which ones you need to really recognize, okay, this bonus comes with this version of the game, but instead, we kind of have a simple format in terms of what we can expect. Firstly, if you're somebody that's into physical copies of the game, this is absolutely something you can pick up. The traditional physical version of the game is $69.99, but you'll find this in a kind of strange offering. There's the physical version of the Xbox One, but it's a cross-gen edition of the game so that you can also have the Series S or X version of the game right out of the gate. PlayStation has them separated for some reason, where you can get the PlayStation 4 via cross-gen, but you can also get the standalone PS5 without cross-gen, kind of making that assumption that you won't want to go back, which very well may be the case, but it's kind of weird that it's that uneven offering, don't you think? But you can get those physicals for PS4 and PS5 normally, though to me there's quite literally 0 point. For the same price you can get the cross-gen edition, which gives you both versions of the game on PlayStation, so we're going to be benchmarking with that one. But the physical versions of the game come along with that full game offering: campaign, multiplayer, and Spec Ops. There are certain retailers that do offer additional bonuses, like GameStop and Game UK offer a steelbook casing for those that end up picking it up on launch day. So that's something that might be the closest we get to a collector's edition this year. But beyond that, we also see that Walmart offers a Call of Duty endowment version of the game that comes along with the Code Perseverance pack at launch that comes with some limited edition items, and then a proceed of that sales price goes to the Call of Duty Endowment, a nonprofit set up to help those returning home from deployments find work and get them readjusted to civilian life. That's your physical copies of the game. There really isn't too much more than just the base version of the game that you end up getting, but for those that like the physical disc, it is still available for you. But that said, let's talk about the digital cross-gen editions of the game. We don't see any versions with just the digital PS4, digital Xbox One versions anymore. It's just going to be simply your digital cross-generation bundle that comes with both PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 versions available, as well as Xbox One and Series S and X versions of the game. Now this, of course, comes with that full game offering, campaign, multiplayer, and Spec Ops, but you actually get a couple of bonuses because you are digitally pre-ordering the game. Firstly, the biggest one perhaps is the ability to preload Modern Warfare 2. Now, right now, there is no date set on when you can preload, but this will give you the ability to download and install the game ahead of the actual release date of the game. So that means that you won't have to wait for the game to download and install once all your friends jump into the game first and foremost. You can get this out of the way ahead of time. The only thing that may hold you up on the launch of the game is if there's a day one patch that needs to be installed. That can range anywhere from a couple of gigabytes to, I think that, I forget if it was Vanguard or Modern Warfare 2019, it was like 50 gigabytes. So sometimes that day one update still can throw a wrench in everything, but for the basic premise of it, the ability to preload is a bonus as well. But for digital versions, you also end up getting campaign early access. To me, one of the biggest things I think here out of the ability to pre-order and digitally at that is the ability to play the entire campaign a week earlier than the launch of the game. That's starting on the 20th here, which for those of you wondering, yes, it is 8 days, but it's just because 7 days from the rollout of when the game starts going live elsewhere in the world, New Zealand and Australia being those first time zones to get access to the game. That'd be something that's still the technical 27th for the United States and Europe at that time. But for those that are like me, that you're like, I don't know if I want to play campaign or multiplayer first, this allows you to do both. You can end up grinding out the campaign, probably even beating it by the time the full launch and multiplayer experience comes out, so you don't have any of that crossover or fighting for your time one way or the other. Additionally, digital pre-orders also get instant access to the Final Judgment bundle in Vanguard and Warzone, as well as the Khaled Al-Assad Operator bundle in Vanguard and Warzone again. For those that digitally pre-order on PlayStation, you also get an additional bonus of the Oni Oni Operator pack that comes with the Operator of Oni and a weapon blueprint for what looks to be an M4. That blueprint actually looks pretty sick, as is the Oni Operator skin, but that is your digital cross-gen version for $69.99. Now, the only other version of the game out there available is the Vault Edition that comes in the digital format. This coming in at the price point of $99.99. This is something that again comes, of course, with the full game offering, campaign, multiplayer, and Spec Ops, but this is defaulted as the cross-gen version, so you can go back to PlayStation 4, you can go back to Xbox One if you so choose. But then you also get all of those bonuses that we just mentioned, the ability to preload Modern Warfare 2, campaign early access, instant access to the Final Judgment bundle, and the Khaled Al-Assad Operator bundle in Vanguard and Warzone, but then you also get additional bonuses for the Vault Edition specifically. That firstly giving you instant access to the Ghost Legacy pack in Modern Warfare 2019, usable the moment you end up pre-purchasing that version of the game. That is going to be Modern Warfare 2019 Ghost Operator skins and M4 blueprints. The Ghost skins include the Apparition, Azrael, Classic Ghost, Dark Vision, Dreadwood, Ghosted, Jawbone, Last Breath, Mandible, Reckoner, UDT Ghost, and Winter Theater skins. I'm pretty sure that's every Ghost skin that we saw during Modern Warfare 2019's main year of support, but then you also end up getting the M4 blueprints of the Florin, Jumpin' Spider, K2, Kingly Splendor, Oscar Mike, Primus, Stem the Tide, The Breakup, The Wages of Sin, and White Noise. So if you're into Modern Warfare 2019, you're warming up for what Modern Warfare 2 will have on offer. It's not a bad content drop if you don't have any of those, or if you don't have most of those, though do be aware, if you do have those, they don't offer any consolation loot. You don't get like COD points in place of the ones you end up already having and that are repeats. So in my example, I personally have the majority of these. So if I pre-ordered the Vault Edition now, I'd only get a handful of those things, maybe max like 3 or 4 items out of those. So in that regard, it's not super worth it for me. You again also get that PlayStation exclusive Oni Operator pack if you end up ordering on PlayStation. But then on launch, beyond what you get with that instant access, on launch you end up getting access to the Red Team 141 Operator pack, which is skins for Price, Ghost, Farah, and Soap, ones you've probably seen on the thumbnails here on the channel, as well as what was playable in the beta for the first time a couple of weeks back. Also on launch, you end up getting the FJX Cinder Weapon Vault. That is the full weapon progression for the M4 and a cosmetic skin that goes along for any combination you end up having on offer for attachments and weapon builds you can have. For those that remember the beta, this is a huge head start on the game. The FJX Cinder Weapon Vault unlocks every weapon in that platform of the M4. From what we saw in the beta, that includes the base M4, the FTAC Recon, the FSS Hurricane, the 5.56 Icarus, and the M16, plus every single weapon attachment that is available under the progression of all those weapons. So you can build the ultimate M4 right away on day 1, match 1. If there's any more added beyond that in the weapon platform than what we saw in the beta, you'll also have access to all of those also. So if you're a camo grinder, this is a great way to get a head start on your first gold weapon, given that it means your weapon will be fully max ranked already. Additionally, for those that pre-order through the in-game shop, you end up getting 10 hours of double XP tokens and 10 hours of double weapon XP tokens. So if you go and buy the game from the shop featured in Warzone, Vanguard, Cold War, or Modern Warfare 2019, you'll get an additional 10 and 10 hours of double XP that you can't get anywhere else with pre-orders and pre-purchases. And with the Vault Edition post-launch, you end up getting Season 1's Battle Pass with 50 tier skips. Now, we don't know how many tiers Season 1 will include, but if it's the same 100 tiers that we see now with the current Battle Pass system, that is a massive boost here that you'll end up getting, likely giving you all the new weapons right up front with Season 1 right away, so that you can jump in and use them in MP and, at the time, Warzone 2 and DMZ. The final thing you end up getting is probably a lesser bonus here for you, but you also end up getting, announced recently, the Red Team 141 Ghost skin in COD Mobile. So if you're a mobile player, this also translates over directly. Now, beyond that, unfortunately, there's no collector's edition this year. The last collector's edition we saw was, I think, the Night Vision goggles from Modern Warfare 2019. Not sure why they don't bring back any collector's editions of the games, but ultimately, at the end of the day, again, that's it. That's all we really have here at this year in the buyer's guide for the various versions of the game. Physical standard or physical cross-gen, digital cross-gen, and then the digital vault editions as well. So seemingly looking like they're pushing away from the physical copies, likely just to save on distribution costs, if I were to guess. I'm that person that absolutely loves to get physical disc copies, but seems like that's not the future here going forward. It looks like we're transitioning to digital. Now, as for recommendations, this is one that's interesting this year. So I really always say it's up to you and what you want out of your purchase, and I still stand by that fully, but This one to me is a bit more uneven if you're looking for one thing versus the other. So if you don't care at all about Modern Warfare 2's cosmetics, or the cosmetics you get instantly in Warzone, Vanguard, and Modern Warfare 2019, the basic cross-gen is a solid bet here. You can't go wrong with that. You get the baseline content and you're good to go for Modern Warfare 2. The key stuff you get ahead of time, though, the biggest of that is you still get campaign early access. So you're not fighting that launch day grind of, do I play campaign or MP first? You could probably already complete the campaign by the time the MP is out. But really, to me, this is the first time that I'd actually say the highest version definitely has the best bang for your buck, just from a sheer value proposition of each individual item that comes along with it. I mean, of course, yes, you still have those crossovers of the campaign, early access, and the ability to preload the game, the Final Judgment and Khaled Al-Assad bundles for Warzone and Vanguard, but you also end up getting the Ghost Legacy Pack, the Red Team 141 Pack, the FGX Cinder Weapon Vault, the Season 1 Battle Pass and 50 tier skips, the Oni Operator Pack for those on PlayStation, and the possibility if you purchase through the in-game shops to get 10 hours of double XP and 10 hours of double weapon XP. But to break that down a little further, the Ghost Legacy Pack, the only comparable large bundle that we ended up seeing with more than 3 to 4 blueprints at a time was the Tiger vs. Big Joke Ultimate Bundle within Black Ops Cold War. That came with 5,000 COD points and was $40 cash, not COD points in the store. So take out the COD points, add 5 more blueprints, 8 more operator skins, you might have a reasonable trade-off there by comparison. But let's be generous with it and just say $20 in terms of that value proposition by comparison. Definitely think it would be more if they ended up pricing that out individually, but let's just say it's the same as your standard featured bundle price point. That's $89.99 with that included on top of the base game if we go with the $20 flat. Then you have the Red Team 141 pack. Again, we can say this is probably comparable to a featured bundle, but since it's only 4 operator skins, I'd go generously $10 in price point there with that by comparison. That's now $99.99, the price of the Vault Edition outright, just right there. Then you have the FGX Cinder Weapon Vault, and this we don't have any price point to break down. They said it's a rarer blueprint and we won't see as many, so if they do go on sale in the shop at any point during the year, I'd love to see it be a $20 bundle, but honestly I'm thinking more of like $30 conservatively. Absolutely pay to win in that sense, but that's something that would bring the overall total to $129.99 for what we've all mentioned. Then we have access to the Season 1 Battle Pass, and let's just say it's that Battle Pass bundle we're used to. Access in 20 tiers right out of the gate. That's normally a $20 bundle right there. But then the additional 30 tier skips, if the pricing is the same as the last 3 years, that's another 30 tiers at 150 COD points each, bringing you to 4,500 COD points if you were to buy those outright. To cover that, you'd need to end up getting the 4,000 COD points plus 1,000 COD point bonus bundle, which costs $39.99 or $40. So $60 in that Battle Pass bundle and tier skips. Now that brings the total to $189.99. If we needed to go on for other bonuses, I'm sure you could conservatively price the Oni pack at $10 since it's an operator skin and a high-level weapon blueprint for the M4, and that 10-10 XP split could be paired out for like $10 to $20 depending on how the comparable breakdowns for the Mountain Dew bonuses and double XP would work out. But I mean, when you think about that, $189 of stuff for $99.99, that's tough to not suggest that, especially if you end up really liking cosmetics and you want some cool stuff right out of the gate. Now again, if you do not care for cosmetics at all, absolutely you do not need to spend the extra $30 over top of that cross-gen bundle. So baseline, I'd say cross-gen bundle here for whatever platform you want, but if you're interested in that other stuff, the value proposition of all of those items for the Vault Edition isn't half bad. So for me, I'm honestly probably going to pick up the Vault Edition here with this one just because I'm a weapon, skin, and cosmetic person, so I'm cool with that. But anyways, that's where we're at here at this. Wanted to give you guys a full comprehensive breakdown of everything that you end up getting for each different variation, physical, digital, or special editions, and give you my 2 cents on what may be most worthwhile for you. But that said, it is absolutely your cash. It is absolutely your hard-earned money. If you disagree, feel free to get whatever version you want. Do not take this as gospel, just a recommendation. Or if you don't want to get it at all, that's totally fine as well. More power to you. But that's where we're going to wrap it up. Let me know your thoughts down below. What do you guys think of the offering here this year? Are you a little bummed out that we don't have more versions of the game or a collector's edition? What version are you going to end up getting? Whatever the case, drop your thoughts below. But if you enjoyed the video, you found it at all insightful, do me a favor and drop a like on the video. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a single thing. We're getting all things Modern Warfare 2, Warzone 2, and DMZ here upcoming. We've got a lot on deck. Launch is right around the corner. Early access next week. We've got a lot to do, so make sure you stick it here on the channel. But for now, thanks so much for watching. My name's been Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care, and peace.